Welcome to another edition of the Referees Corner here on Islandstats.com. I'm your host, Earl Bearston, and joining me today is Ms. Tesnay Fubler and Jade Morrissey, two youth referees. We'll get right with Tesnay. Jade, save you for a couple of minutes. Well, Tesnay, you've been playing youth football for quite some time, into the National Academy. Why the change to officiating? Why add that?
Well, at first my mom forced me to become a youth referee, but then afterwards I enjoyed it. I love the passion. I love football. So, yeah, something different.
So it was a good force to get you to. Does that help you understand the game more when you're playing?
Yes, and it also gave me more respect for the referee. I don't get mad at him.
No more, because you find yourself in the middle at times.
Yes.
What are some of the things that you feel you didn't know when you started to referee and you got into learning the rules and regulations? What are some of the things that you've taught yourself in your game that refereeing has helped you to get through?
Well, I understand all sides better, and that's pretty much it.
Okay, all right. Jade, most people would know your name from the sport of cricket. Yeah. She knows too. What do you get out of the youth side of officiating?
Well, first off, it keeps me out of trouble for some, because I'm off season for cricket right
Right,
now.
right.
So keeps me out of trouble, and just something else for me to do.
Do you play football?
Not no more, because I've had a few concussions in the past 6 months.
Right. But you like the game that much that you think officiating is still being a part of the game.
Yes.
Do you get trouble from some of these youngsters?
Not really, just mostly the parents.
When you're officiating, especially youth games, you know there's a lot of parents on the sideline that think they know all the rules.
Yeah.
There are other times you feel like stopping the game and saying, let me show you the rules, or let me teach you the rules.
Yes.
Yeah. How can we better, as youngsters doing this job, how can we better make people understand the rules of the game and not just see it as, oh, the referee's not on our side today? Anyone?
Why you always gotta ask me hard questions?
It's not a hard question. It's a question that, okay, you're refereeing a game on a Saturday, and there's 5 parents who keep getting the call wrong, but they keep telling you you're wrong. How do we better educate those 5 people in understanding that you know the rules and regulations and how they can basically learn them?
So Jay, you can answer this one? I don't even know how to answer that question.
Well, didn't you guys have to go through a course to get the basics and understand them? You have booklets that would teach you different rules and regulations, yes? Mm-hmm. So wouldn't you advise those same parents to get their hands on a book and probably understand the rules?
All right, well, I'm going to say it so that it sounds smart, and then you can just put it in there.
No, you're going to say it.
Right.
Well,
I would advise the parents to take the course, just like all the adult referees took the course, or we could just have a general course in all, like just to inform the public about the rules.
I know at the senior level, a lot of referee instructors go around to different clubs to go over the rules with clubs, players, and so forth. Maybe that's something we can look into at the youth level, because there are a lot of parents out there who just come out on a Saturday.
I just don't understand.
Right. And I think we need to help educate them, and then we can, because the kids just play, and 9 times out of 10, and you guys would know this for a fact, kids feed off of what they hear from the side.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So if someone's shouting out the wrong information 9 times out of 10, the kid's going to do the wrong thing. So it's one of those things where we're going to have to help educate the parent, because the coach can only do as much as they can, and then try to work on what would you say is one of the biggest problems you find, Jay, at at the youth level when it comes to refereeing, other than the parents? Keep the parents out.
I'll say the coaches too.
Right.
Like, say if I was to make a bad call, they'll be on my case. Or if I miss a call,
Right. Let's say miss a call, because how many times would you say, I'm going to ask this question to both of you. How many times would you say you made a bad call?
I do it once a game, probably.
But when you make a call, you call what you see, right?
Yeah.
So is that a bad call? It can't be a bad call. If you call what you
I don't
see.
really make any bad calls.
See, I should have asked our friend.
If I see it, then I'm gonna call it. If I don't see it, then what can I do?
Right. Right. Well, and that's the honest answer. That's the truth answer. You can only blow your whistle if you see an infringement.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't see an infringement, or if you have a linesman that you trust and believe, and then they put up the flag, then obviously that's the next best step, because they're your eyes and ears on the sideline. But most of the time, when you're refereeing a youth game, it's just you and these kids, and sort of you got the coaches on the sideline, and coaches get
Emotional.
very.
Yep.
Do you find, because you guys are youngsters, a lot of coaches try to take advantage of that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I also feel that the coaches sometimes are even more emotional than the players.
Right.
And they just want to be over the top because they are the adult, but at the same time, like, you want to know your boundaries.
Right. How do you handle coaches? You personally, as a referee?
I mean, not even listen to them.
Mm.
I just tell them they need to relax, simmer down.
Right.
Of course.
Right. Do you find it's an opportunity for you to go over and have a chat with them about their emotion, about where they can be inciting players to do things that is not sportsmanship like?
Yes. Well, at the half, or if it gets too over the top, then you could just stop the game and just say, coach, you gotta relax.
Mm-hmm.
And if it continues, then you just write it in your report, and then the people above you deal with it.
What I would consider an easy afternoon for you to referee in a youth game where everything goes smoothly, and what's been one of your biggest challenges thus far?
I really haven't had no challenges.
No, you seem to get along with everyone.
Yes.
You seem like you're quiet when I've seen you play cricket, so I know the difference.
Yeah, it's a different ball game.
Right. Okay. So when does that firm whistle, calling out, knowing what, being authoritative, when does that jade show up?
Well, when the game starts to get like out of control, and that's when that comes up.
Yeah.
I like to stay calm all the time because
Right.
I know I'm got a short temper.
Are the referee?
Have a nice.
Yeah, she knows that.
Oh. All right. Well, folks, I want to thank you both for joining us here. We're going to have two more youngsters join us and some other referees. So keep up the good work. Look forward to you over the years continuing on. It's only the start. All right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. Now on set, joining me is two other youth referees, and I'll let them introduce themselves, starting with my right.
My name is Mikkel Hartman. My name is Amari Mages.
Both of you guys, Berkeley students. What gets you into officiating?
What got me into it
Yeah.
was just a different opportunity, and I saw that I can attempt it and see what I can do and where it can take me.
Right. You just haven't done youth games. You've been involved in some Sunday games as well, yeah?
Yes, that is true.
What has that experience been like compared to two? If you look at a youth game, you're in control of a group of youngsters, and then you get into the first division, and all of a sudden there's men who will challenge you because they look at you as a youngster.
Yeah.
What's the two like?
Well, I mean, in both situations they challenge you because I guess it's just the game, but
Right.
when I'm doing the older games, it's like I guess they don't really I'm not even sure.
It's a little different.
Yeah, it's really different. It's not what you're really used to.
Right.
But you have to adapt to the situation and carry on, I guess.
Right.
And the youngsters, they look to you to call the right call, and sometimes when it's not really the call that they wanted, they still sometimes just move on with it and
Right.
accept my decision.
Right. Your first game you done. What was that time prior to the game like for you? You was a little nervous?
No, not at all.
No?
Um,
What got you started in youth referee?
I'm actually a player.
Right.
So I tore my ACL,
Uh-huh.
and so I needed something to take up for, my time.
Right.
And so like my friend said, "Hey, you must well be a referee with me." I was like, "Why not?" So yeah, I became a referee, and it's enlightened.
Yeah. You learn more about the game
Yeah.
from a different side.
Different, yeah.
So let me ask you this question. Because you guys are now well versed on rules, or you know more rules now, does the conversation about football change around other footballers?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
What are some of those conversations? Because obviously, players just talk about the game. So when you were a player, you just talked about, oh, we should do this, we should do that, we should do the other. But then now comes impediment of somebody's space,
Yeah.
offside, foul throws, corner kicks, goal kick. All that now comes into play, into a conversation.
Yeah.
So what are those conversations like with some of your friends? Because some people, you'll be watching, say you're watching a game and you see something, because you can see a lot of other things.
Yeah.
So what are those, some of those conversations like?
Well, for me, it's interesting because players, because they don't know,
Mm-hmm.
that don't make sense.
Right.
So it's like I'm trying to enlighten other people. Like, this is how the rules say, and this
Right.
is, you can use this to your advantage. You can use this to your this is a disadvantage to you.
Mhm.
So, get little loopholes in there.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, do you find yourself, say, when you're watching football on television, do you find yourself watching the referee or the assistant more than you actually watch the game now, see positioning and so forth?
Sometimes I would look towards the linesmen to see if they're like actually following with play most of the time,
Mhm.
and then especially when it's like a through ball
Mhm.
and stuff like that. But other than that, I just watch the game and enjoy the games.
Right. With the new technology, because you guys are young and you'll be around when technology is changing and coming into the game and so forth. But when you start seeing referee assistants, decisions, especially offsides, being questioned and so forth, does that bother you? Like you're always worried about somebody looking over your shoulder and saying, "Oh, well, that person was an offside," or the rule is this, the rule is that. Does that sometimes bother you?
I mean, yes, but you always gotta go with your first decision and trust yourself and believe in yourself that, yeah, I made that call, and at that time I thought it was the correct call, but later on reviewing, I might have did this and would have called that not offside or whatever.
Mm-hmm. So when you done your first senior league game, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, there was at Iraq, was it? Where was it to?
It was PHC.
PAC. You come out with the referees, and people see this tall young man. Obviously, first thing the coaches are looking at is saying, "Oh, okay, I got a young one, so I can try to take advantage of." Do you hear that type of talk sometimes, where guys are like, "Oh, we could try to get over the rules and regulations on you at times"?
Sometimes, but most times I try to block it out.
Right.
And I know sometimes it's just like a joke or whatever.
Right.
I just laugh it off.
Right. Right. So you say you tore your ACL.
Yeah.
You now refereeing is similar to the game, similar to playing, just not the ball hitting the foot a lot.
Yeah.
So how did you work that out? Because when you tear that, a lot of your running has to be straight up and down. You
Yeah.
can't be turning and
Turning,
yeah. So obviously youth games is not a fast pace, but how did you work your way into it?
Well, it was actually the first couple of weeks. It was pretty difficult because I'm used to controlling the ball,
Right,
taking on people, and now I'm just sitting there with a whistle and watching everyone else do it.
It's a bit torture.
It is. So but it did make me hungry to come back, and so I think it did motivate me a lot to get into the gym and work out and get back.
If the opportunity presented itself for you to be a part of an officiating team at a senior game, would you do it?
Yeah, of course.
You feel that confident in yourself that you understand enough of the rules to go out there and make the decision that you see.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I had two youngsters in here earlier and they were talking about, I asked the question about if they made a bad call, and my explanation to them was, you don't make a bad call, you make the call that you see.
Yeah.
And because 50% of the people is going to say it's a bad call, the other 50 is going to say, great call, so you can't please all the, you just have to trust and believe in what you see you're calling, and you stick to it.
Yeah.
So my encouragement to all you young guys is to hang in there, be encouraged that you're doing something positive for the game, in the game, and for that, the youngsters that you guys officiate for appreciate it. They might not come up to you and say it, but they appreciate it because without you guys, those games will not be playing. All right?
Yep.
Well, congratulations. Thank you very much.
Yes, you too.
Enjoy your night. Welcome back. We have two more youth referees in the house. We'll let them introduce themselves, starting with my left.
Shy Jennings.
Mateo Donovan.
Well, gentlemen, how long have you been officiating?
I think it's my third year.
Third?
Year. Yeah.
Something you enjoy doing?
Yeah, it's fun. It's interesting. Learning the laws of the game, applying to the rules.
Right. What would you say has been one of your challenges? Your peers knowing that you're the referee and sometimes challenging your authority, challenging your decisions?
No, just like I get maybe intimidated by the men's games, but it's cool for me.
Yeah.
Just doing your job.
Right.
This is my first year
Yeah.
officiating, yeah.
Bit nervous?
No, that's good. It's been good. I find it pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were some of your concerns coming in?
I didn't really have any concerns coming in. I understood how refereeing worked in Bermuda beforehand, so I was already prepared for that.
Right. Now you talked about men. So you've been officiating some of the adult matches?
PDL matches.
PDL matches?
Christmas tournament.
Right.
And women's.
Oh, okay.
Friendlies.
How do you find those matches as opposed to the real youth matches?
Well, for those ones, I'm only on the line because I'm still only 17.
Right.
But it's same thing. Same rules apply.
Right.
Same game, just maybe some older guys.
Right.
And just a little bit faster.
Do you think sometimes they want to take advantage of you because they think you're young and you don't know all the rules?
Nah, not really. I'm just assistant referee. I call
Right.
what I see, do what I see, and if they complain, it's just the rules. Everyone's
Right.
gonna complain about it.
Well, 50% is going to complain and the other 50 is going to say, well done.
Yeah.
What got you into refereeing for this year?
Well, I was at one of my younger brother's games and they didn't have an official there.
Right.
So they asked me to do it, and then afterwards I was approached by the match commissioner and she asked me would I be interested in becoming a full-on youth referee.
Right.
So I decided to do it.
So let me ask you this question. You were having fun just because they asked you to officiate. You took it on, and that was fun for you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And as you get to learn the rules, let me ask you, did you understand most of the rules prior to learning the official rules when you became a referee?
Yeah, like the rules, because I play myself,
Right.
you know some of the rules, but you don't know the in-depth rules. So I've done 2 courses, and they both helped me to understand the laws of the match, the updated laws and the new laws and just applying them on the field.
Right. When you now talk about the game, and because you're educated a little more on the rules side, does your conversations change a little bit?
Sometimes when I play myself, I just think, oh yeah, I know the rules to this.
Right.
I can use that to my advantage sometimes.
Right.
To help me better my game.
Mm-hmm.
To help my team in general.
Right. Do you find, as a referee, even at the youth level, are you challenged more by your calls?
Not really. I mean, some of the parents sometimes have a few words to say, but I kind of just ignore that. It's no big deal to me.
Some of the parents can be quite harsh at times, yes?
Yeah.
Dealing with their children and so forth. But how do you guys find the coaches when you're out in the middle or even on the line? How do you find coaches accept you guys as officials?
Well, for youth referees, they're thankful they ain't got to go find someone to go ref the game, and they have to do it themselves. But I think sometimes they can get a bit agitated, but they're all cool. Just explain your calls to them, and they understand. From that, just talk. They understand.
Right. When you're out there in the middle and the game's flowing and things are going, do you often say to yourself, well, this is how football should be played? Nobody's arguing. It's just everybody's having fun kind of thing?
Yeah, everyone should be having fun. The game's a beautiful game.
Right.
Everyone has fun in the game. Even I have fun in the middle sometimes.
Right.
It's a good game out there you can see, and just playing ball, and you got some kids scoring, kids celebrating.
Right.
It's all worth it.
Right. Yeah. Do you find yourself at times, because this is your first year, and at times you can get caught up in watching the game. I know you would have experienced it in your first couple of years at times. Even though you're in the middle,
Right.
you find you're watching the game more than refereeing. You have to say to yourself, oh yeah, I'm officiating. Do you find that at times?
No, not really. Sometimes I kind of catch myself just kind of watching the game, but it doesn't happen too often. Hasn't happened
Right.
too much yet.
Yeah. You could tell them about those experiences, innit? Because if the game is flowing, there are times where you would just kind of stand there and just watch, and it's human nature at times, because it's not a full-time job for you. It's something that you're doing, you're helping, you're learning about the game as well. So at times you do, or you will get into a point where you'll start saying, wow, oh, he did that. Oh, okay. And then, oh yeah, I forgot I'm a referee, sort of thing. So
Yeah.
where do you see yourself, as far as, because I know you say you play, so where do you see yourself taking officiating down the road?
Officiating? I'll keep doing what I'm doing now. I go to university next year, but when I come back, I'll still try to play, and then I can run the line if they still need me in PDL. I enjoy it. It's fun to watch the game. It's fun to see the game. And it's just a good experience, and I'll keep doing it if I can.
Now, university, you go in better equipped than a lot of other players because you know a lot of the rules.
Yes.
And now you get to apply those rules in different situations. Just the one thing, you get to university in the U.S.?
No, UK.
UK. Oh, well, that's even better, because now you could use those little small things and say, Raf, I know, I do, I used to, I officiate, and 9 times out of 10 you use that to your best of your ability. That would allow you to get a little ahead of the next person. You say this your first year, you think it's something you want to continue doing while you're still young?
Yeah, I think it's something worth pursuing right now, because I play as well.
Right.
But I don't really play that much. I play for Somerset Trojans.
Oh, okay.
So I don't really make that team too often.
Right.
So I can see myself taking officiating pretty far.
Yeah?
If I need to.
Okay. Well, gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. I do appreciate your time, and good luck. Continue doing the jobs you're doing, because the youngsters may not say it, or the coaches may not say it, but what you're doing is keeping the game alive, because you're officiating for our youngsters to develop and become better people, not just in the game, but outside the game. All right?
Right.
All right. Well done.
Yep.
Well, now joining me is a veteran of officiating Bermuda, Ms. Cassandra Trott. Sandra, you've been officiating for a number of years, but being a female is challenging at times. You're in a sport that in Bermuda has been predominantly man-driven. But what are some of the things that you find that are challenging being a female and officiating in Premier, First Division, PDL, right down to the youth leagues?
It's a challenging, but I say challenging is to the point of it's a male-dominant sport that they don't really welcome or really want women involved, to be quite honest. So it's hard. When you start the junior program, most of the parents are a little bit surprised when they see you. Some are encouraging, nice to see a female referee. As you move up the rank, that's when the challenges comes in. It's no really the respect of a male that will be, give you a little bit of, how could I say it?
Encouragement.
Encouragement. Thank you. I couldn't say it right. Encouragement. They don't do that. You find a few female spectators will come and say, you did a good job, keep it up. But it's hard. It's real hard.
So why do you keep doing it?
Because I like challenges. I'm not afraid of any challenge. I'll take it on any time. I feel like it's something that I want to do, for my journey in my life. And that's one of the things I want to accommodate. I want to see females in football go to the next level. Yeah.
Because the sport here is dominated, we don't really have a women's league and so forth. What are some of the changes you would like to see from the administration side that could possibly assist you as a female official week in and week out?
Some of the things I see change, the mindset, and it starts from the top.
Right.
So I think the mindset should be changed, and the support we need. Not just because we're a female, even I'm going to take that back. Together as a referee, there's really not that much support we get. Right now it's kind of hard. We're living in an island with so many issues of so many different things, and just by being a woman makes it 3 times worse. But I think that if the starting from the top was to implement different things, it will come down to the person that is playing football. That comes from the disrespect, the attitude, the issues. I feel like they should set some standards in order for for them to see that we're serious and we want football to go to the next level.
It's no secret. You've probably heard it when you walk into a ground. Oh God, we got Cassandra. Does that kind of set a tone for you for the day, where you hear that and you say, you know what, I don't feel like putting up with these people today? No,
Not me. If you know me, my personality, that doesn't bother me.
right.
Mind you, I mean, a few times, some of the first division teams, when they see me, they say, "Oh God, here she comes," and I go right to them. I say,
Right.
"How you guys doing tonight?" You have to break that on it.
Right.
To make them feel like, all right, she's cool. She's not, she's not that type of person. Or,
Right.
Again, man's mindset. Here comes the woman in, she thinks she can take control. So yeah, just kind of like break it a bit and say, come on guys, what's going on today? Make a joke and whatever. They come back wrong. Yeah, I have no problems after that.
What would you say has been one of the things that you've done in a match or happened in a match that you would say that you would do differently if it was a call, if it was, what is something that you would say, man, I think I made a mistake here?
Well, I'm not perfect. I make
Right.
a lot of mistakes, so
Right.
that's every game then. It's got to be every game. But anyway,
But
That
which one stands out? It's got to be one that stands out.
no, it's a lot that stands out.
Yeah.
It's a lot that stands out. It's challenging all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to talk about one specific one, but in general thing,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I can't really say. I can't say. Ask me another way around it, Dan.
Well,
I can't think of anything.
if in recent memory, is there a call you've made that after the game you
Okay.
sat down and said
Okay.
to yourself, I think I made the wrong decision?
Well, I want to say this. First of all, my biggest criticism. I am terrible. I go home and I do take it home sometimes.
Mhm.
And I weigh on it, I think about it. I even call like one of the referees, senior referees, I say, look, today I did something I wasn't sure, and I've been taught and told, even like just recently by Lyndon, he was telling me never take it home with you, like
Mhm.
leave it at the game. But that has happened to me, and I would say management. That's my fault, because I think if I take a more strict approach to management of the game, I think it would be a difference. Because there are times that I can make a call, and I think they would challenge me to the point of saying to myself, like, was I right? Did I make that call? Because they're going crazy over what I just said.
Right.
But then I have to realize that if my management, if I stand firm and show them that, okay, I mean business, guys, I'm applying the rules just like any other referee, if it was a male, that you have to adhere by the rules. So, yeah, management would be the most important thing.
Right.
Yeah.
The other day I asked another official this question, and I'm glad I'm got you here because I want to ask you just to get a gauge on how referees think and in different situations. An infringement is called outside the box. The same challenge happens inside the box. 9 times out of 10, the whistle takes a little longer to blow for the one inside the box as opposed to the one outside the box. You personally, when you find yourself in that position, are you trying to register in your mind that you've seen the foul, or you just take that extra time to process the situation and decide whether or not it's a foul or not? Because we see it all the time. Even when you're watching a game, you'll see someone get fouled outside the box, it's quickly called, and the same infringement is done inside the box, and it's either a pause, then the whistle, or a pause, and then play on.
Yes, but again, nobody's perfect. So I'm going to say this to you. I've actually been to that a few times myself. But I feel like it's called teamwork. If we work together, I keep my eye on the play at all times. I mean, very rarely am I going to be in la-la land when it comes to something serious like that. I understand that they're very competitive, so therefore I got to be on my A game too. So I basically just keep my eye on it. I tell them straight, if it comes to the point where they are so, oh, it's a penalty, I say to them straight, I'm going to go what I saw. I saw it outside the box, therefore I'm putting it outside the box. If it's such a ruckus and I even, in my subconscious, is questioning myself, I go to my side, my assistants, and I would just say to him, listen, what did you see compared to what I saw? And then if he says to me, hey, I was more up with the last person and I saw it in the box, then I'm good on what he says. If I say to him, vice versa, he can say to me, well, I really didn't see that part, but hey, we're going to do that one, and we'll take the ball back. And another thing, you have to make sure the players understand that, because it will be in a total chaos if you just don't say nothing at all to them.
Right.
Because trust me, a penalty to them is like a blessing in disguise. So yeah.
Right.
That's
What
it.
would you consider more strenuous? When I say strenuous, I mean with all the things that go on in the game. Being in the middle or being on the line, from your experience?
The hardest part is in the middle, because you're the worst person of the day. On the line, you can make small mistakes, and you can guarantee the spectators are not going to be on you like that.
Right.
But when you're in that middle, you are the most focused person. Anybody, the players, the spectators around are going to focus on you. So whatever you do, you better make the right decision, because they're going to come at you. So that's the most stressful.
But wouldn't one say the right decision is the decision you make because you only call what you see?
Yeah, but I have 2 other people with me there, so we're a team.
Right. No, but I'm saying from a referee standpoint, if you're blowing the whistle because either you're right, your AR has indicated there's an infringement, or you yourself see that infringement. So I often hear people talking about, oh, referee, you've made a bad call.
Correct.
But that type of language and lingo is kind of not the right terminology, because if I see an infringement, I'm going to blow the infringement. Because it didn't go in your favor, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad call, is it?
Yeah, but if you're on a team that's one of them, you're going to say that, aren't you?
Well, but that's just the thing. I mean, if you got to evaluate your game, and let's be honest, let's be open, in the event that Cassandra made 10 calls that people considered bad,
Okay.
how many bad passes does the team make?
probably double.
if not triple.
That's right.
So I often ask officials, why are you the focal point of the game when coaches don't spend that same amount of energy on their players?
Maybe because the referee is the person to blame for anything that goes wrong.
Well, yeah, because it's an easy scapegoat.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
So when you put all your emphasis and all your focus on the referee instead on that person that's making the bad passes or missed that penalty or didn't send the ball, as they say, up the field correctly, I mean, that's what happens. That's a part
Do
of
you
the game.
find it? Because I know you. Do you find sometimes you just want to stop the game and go and tell the coach that? No, I mean, I'm only joking with that.
I know. I honestly feel that sometimes when coaches, because coaches come at you too, don't forget.
Right,
I mean,
right.
the coaches are the worst ones sometimes. And I remember in my early days, I had some real hard challenges from those coaches because, they don't want you there. So when they
Right.
saw a female, the first thing they said, you know the rules? And I look at them saying, whoa, you should worry about your players first. But then, how could I show them, it's a hard thing. How could I show them that at the end of the day, I have one job, but you have a job too. And if we do our jobs together, this would be a beautiful game to watch.
Right,
To think about it, but hey, it's hard. That's all I'm going to say. It's very hard.
I have to go back and ask, and then you say you love a challenge, but at what point in time does a challenge take you over the edge?
Let me tell you something. When I say I love a challenge in my life and what I do at my job, anything I do. And I'm known to take on challenges. I say that because, I'm going to go back to the game. As being a female referee, this skin has got to be 3 times harder or thicker than a male one. Not only do you get criticized for everything you do, you get looked upon and even screamed at for whatever. It may be a call as I may be the assistant on the day, and he may have made a call the referee. I'm gonna get that. You understand?
Right.
So the challenge is, I want them to understand that I have a right to be here just like any male partner of mine. I do every exam they have. I do every course they have. I run the same runs as the male run. They don't give us a different test as a female, which is unfair, but in order for me to show them that I want to take the challenge, I do the run. I do the training. I do whatever it is. Sometimes I feel like I'm going to die, but I do it, and I want to understand that I should be given, if you feel that I haven't gained my respect, at least have an open mind. Let me show you that I can get that respect from you. Like I say, the challenge is good, but you just got to keep on moving, keep on trucking, keep on
Do you
trucking.
remember your first ever game?
I remember my first game. I never forget about it.
Where was it and who was it?
First game was at Kenny Thompson's at White Hill Field. I was got chased out the grounds, but it was.
Somerset Eagles?
Somerset Eagles. Back in the day, Kenny Thompson was the coach.
Right.
And it was unbelievable. That's all I'm going to say. Actually, I cried like a baby. I was like, oh my God, these people are crazy. They're going to kill me up here. And how it went was the infringement was on the opposite team from Kenny Thompson.
Right.
And I didn't even had nothing to do with it. But
Right.
because the referee didn't make the call, as
Right.
they felt that it was a infringement, they came at me and they rushed me. They told me that they were going to do this and that to me. I should go home. And when I leave here, watch myself, it was, hey man, I mean, I knew it was hard, but I didn't think it was that hard. And then at the end of it all, I had to be escorted out I don't believe it, in my car to the gate. And I looked back and I was like, if my mouth dog escorted me out of here, they should be escorted them. But then it kind of like made me realize that they take football to another level.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So what was that week after that like? Because you probably were down to do another game the next weekend.
I didn't do it. I had a game the next week and I called Mr. Sabri and I said, I'm not doing it.
Right.
And he was like, why? What happened? And I told him, and he says, no, you gotta get back in there. You gotta fight. I'm like, have you been up there to see those people? And he said, I've been a referee, I've been involved in football for 50 years, and I'm telling you, I'm gonna put you back in there. I didn't do it the next week, because I told him, I said, I was like shaking, I just couldn't do it. But then I went home and I thought about it, I said, I'm gonna do it. So the following week came, and I had a game with South Devonshire Iraq. And I went there and I put my tough face on, my tough skin on. And I walked up there, they all, people were like at me, oh, one person shot out, she's back again for it. And I smiled and I waved to them too, and I say, I'm back. And from that time on, they never got me down.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Got you out of a game for a week.
He got me out for the week, yeah. To lick my wounds. Really, really scary.
But one would say, I mean, that was a baptism of fire because,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you enter a game hostility,
Mm-hmm.
and now things will be considered calm. The way things are, even how they are today,
Yeah.
be considered calm.
Well, okay, when some people say calm, I would actually say it's gotten worse.
Right.
It's gotten worse. I mean,
Both from on the field and off the field, spectator-wise as well.
spectators not as bad. I kid you not. Let me tell you something. I always say this. Spectators, some will come to a field to take out their own energy. So they're going to scream and shout different things. And they probably know nothing about the rules. Nothing about the new rules, nothing about the new offside rules. But they're going to scream and shout what they want. I can take that. My skin stick for that. But I can't take when they literally, the guys on the field and they bring down issues and they bring all the other crazy stuff and then they want to fight each other. That right there is what I can't deal with. Because I feel like I came here to referee and you came to play. Why did you come to fight? What is there something I don't know? And then again, it's back to the issues that are present in the island
Right.
that so sad that is brought on the field of play.
But to be honest, it's not just football, although that's where you hear about it a
Right,
lot. It's
yeah.
a lot of sports that have the same challenges and the
Yeah.
same problems. But when you find yourself in those predicaments, when you know there's a game involving two teams that you know there could possibly be an issue on the field, off the field, after the game and all that, how do you mentally prepare yourself for that particular game to manage just that?
Well, you got to come with your game face on one. You can't come if you're having a bad day or didn't get enough rest that night. I can tell you that because any of those small things will take you off your game. I come prepared. Every game I go to, I don't care if it's a small game, which is a team is in seventh place or a team that's in first place. My face is always the same because you cannot change the challenge of it. Premier League, although it's a different level of soccer, is my opinion, compared to First Division. So if I go and I know it's for example, two teams from the West playing each other, I basically let them know straight. The first thing we need to know is, do we have security? And then I go to the teams. I go to each of the teams and tell them straight, today we're going to have a good game. If it's anything that's happened last night, because obviously it's on a Sunday, happened last night, it's staying out of this game. And I let them all, and they look at me, okay, nope, ref, we're on it today. And I tell them straight, and I mean it. Because if I don't put my foot down there, and I just go in the field and act like everything's fine, they will do something.
Right.
Something will just take them off and it will happen. So I prepare them before I prepare myself. But yeah.
Well, I do want to thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, and keep up the good work as far as officiating.
Oh.
I know it's not easy.
Mhm.
It's more of a one would say a personal challenge because as a female you have to look within first.
You do.
And trust and believe what you're doing is the right thing. So hang in there, and we look forward to you officiating
I can't
down the road.
say them both.
All right, well, 3, 2, 1. Have another youngster in the building tonight.
My name is Eusebio King Mills.
Eusebio, got some big shoes to fill. You've been involved in a number of different sports.
Yes.
What turned you to officiating football?
Well, I like football as a sport, and I think if I know the rules and stuff like that, I think it will make me better as a player as well as a referee. Also, I think it's good for the kids as well to be introduced to and learn the older players or future refs and how to respect them.
Have you learned more about yourself and the knowledge of the game since you started doing this?
I think I have. I've learned a lot about myself because I did not believe, at first I definitely did not have as much confidence as I do now. So I think that's really helped me.
When they told you was going to do your first game, what was that like? The nerves?
The first game, of course, it was always going to be nervous. I was always going to be nervous.
Right.
But I pulled it together. I think I did good in the first game.
Yeah. And now obviously confidence has grown.
Yeah.
What do you think is a challenge you face week in and week out when you have to officiate a game?
I don't really think about the game. I don't think about what's coming up. I just go and do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? Who advised you or who gave you the recommendation to decide to officiate?
My mother actually signed me up for
Yeah.
this.
Did you know she was signing you up? So what was that conversation like?
It was like she was like. At first, she was like, "Go do this refereeing course. You're not going to referee at all. You're just learning the rules and stuff."
Right.
So I was like, I'll go. And then came to this.
Oh. So once you took the course, is that one of those type of things that you were interested in doing more with what you had learned?
I think yes.
Yeah.
It definitely made me more interested in the sport because I learned why rules apply as well, and yeah.
Do you find yourself now watching other referees to see if they're applying the rule, as if you were in the middle?
I definitely compare myself with other referees.
Yeah.
Especially when I'm watching a game, different games,
Right.
like with regards to adults and even on TV.
Right.
I definitely compare myself.
Well, now that's interesting because on TV you got a different look.
Yes.
You know, and I try to tell people all the time, when you're in the middle, you have that one chance to see it.
Yes.
When you're watching it on television, you got an elevated view, so you get to see a different. But when you find yourself having to make a call, do you sometimes second guess yourself?
I do, but I have to make a decision very quickly. So I try not to take too long with my decisions.
Right. Do you find youngsters want to challenge you at times when you blow your whistle?
Of course, it's going to be sometimes controversial.
Right.
But they do sometimes say, well, ref, I didn't try to kick him hard or something.
Right.
But they won't go up in my face or nothing like that.
How are you finding the coaches and the fans? The fans or the parents?
The parents are definitely a challenge sometimes. But I think it's gotten better as I got along, and yeah.
Do you tend to shut those things outside the fence out?
I try not to listen to them at all when I'm rapping, because if they say bad things, it'll just keep getting in your head, and then it'll just mess up your rapping and the game itself.
So after you do your first game, you go home. What do you say to your mom?
I don't know what I say to my mom.
You got me in this. Now get me out.
No, I don't know.
No?
I think I like it. I'm not quite sure, really.
But it's something you enjoy doing.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy watching when kids are having fun, just playing football? Because when you're young like that, not too much bothers you.
Yeah. I think I like it watching them because I like to see that their potential and like how coaches and training techniques have grown and progressed since the past.
Yeah. If there was one rule you can explain to me, what would that be? Something that you think I wouldn't. Okay, explain to me the difference between an indirect free kick or direct free kick.
Okay, so a direct free kick is when basically a player has committed an offense to the rules. So like they have kicked somebody or like without trying to get the ball, or like what else? Or if they deliberately hand the ball and things like that. But if you pass the ball back to your goalkeeper, and like you're the defender, and you pass it back to your goalkeeper, and he picks up the ball inside the box.
Right.
But he's not allowed to. So instead of giving a penalty, it's an indirect free kick.
Right.
So pretty much you have to touch the ball before someone, before it's played directly.
Right.
And then you could,
So if I'm understanding, the rules is interpreted this way: if you believe the player intended to commit the foul is a direct free kick, and if the player in error committed the foul.
No, not
No?
at all. Not at all.
No?
Not like that. It's still a foul. It's still a direct free
Right.
kick. If it's a foul, it's a foul. It can't change. It's still happened.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that it will still be a direct free kick.
Okay.
But with regards to, I think I can't really remember all of the rules.
Right.
But I remember that one
Okay.
rule.
All right. I'll let you off to go. Thank you very much for your time.
No
Appreciate
problem.
it. Keep up the good work. See?
Yep. You
All
too.
right, man.